So welcome everyone, glad that you can join us today. We are with the second semi-finals of this Zerospace tournament, and to kick off things in hopefully very quick fashion, in the southwest in blue we've got Arrival of the Birds playing as the Protector, and he's getting over already Torque and Monda as his two heroes.
And in the opposite corner here in the top right, in the green, playing as the Legion, we have adagramus.
He's getting the Inquisitors going down
Maybe
south
adagram.
straight away. Yeah, adagramus. I like saying adagramus, but I mean, these player names, they can apparently have some flexibility with them, so I guess whatever sounds natural.
Yeah. I like names that I know how to pronounce every time, like Cats and Arman Official.
Yeah, and birds. Can't go wrong with birds. But adagramus and
Arrival of the
Bosse.
Bird.
Yeah, Bosse and Bose, there's been interesting ones as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great names. I'm just kidding. But I struggle.
He's got the Dread Mercenary Outpost, so could be some Dread Raiders popping up soon enough. We'll have to see what he decides to go with. The northwest, though, the Torque and Monda are making quick work of the control towers. So we've seen in games recently, actually getting control towers early can be really powerful, especially on maps where they're kind of wide, like the control towers are really in the corner of the map, and it can be easily forgotten about if players decide to fight right down the middle, right? Because you want to be taking good fights. You don't necessarily want to peel off units to go across the map to the control towers, or if you do, it could be a bit of a gamble. You have less army fighting down in the middle.
Yeah, that's the big question players always have to ask themselves. What can I afford to split off, and what benefit am I going to get? Birds with the faster expansion. I think adagramus just threw his down.
Yeah, looks like it.
Quite a bit later. Earlier mercs and tech, though, from adagramus. We might see a Terror Tank rush. Or we might see a high-tech mercenary rush, too. Either one of those is a possibility here.
Could be interesting to see. Double barracks outpost, a double barracks and a mercenary outpost coming up for the Protectorate. So definitely get infantry out nice and early, just to support Torque and Monda. And, well, players do typically stay at two bases for a little while and then pump out units, so we should see some more unit interactions. But here comes Inquisitus, does do a bit of dash damage on Torque, but Torque's tanky enough to push it back as well. A couple of units for both players.
Yeah, nice job there. Yeah, nice job there for Birds, splitting up the commandos enough that they didn't take damage from that slam. Barely keeping Torque alive there, too. And killing the Thralls with the second hammer throw.
Yeah, nice moment there for Birds for sure, adding in the Valkyria Hounds to back this up as well, and pushing away the Harvesters. This is going to be a nice pick-off, and at least one, but probably two. We'll see if he gets the second one. Doesn't quite manage it in the end, and Quiz just being the last line of defense there. Going for the Mercenary Outpost, that could be big.
And you can see the use of that dragline formation where you just right-click and drag, move your units apart there, and that's how Birds is avoiding these hits so quickly. And Inquisitress is great, but if the AoE only hits one unit every time, she gets a lot less value. Oh, there's a good hit. And she goes down for it.
Does lose the Mercenary Outpost. Did pop out these two Dread Rovers before it went down, though, so we'll get some value from it, but it's still nice aggression. And behind all of this, guess what? Birds has got all three control towers. Going for the first talent as well, with improved veterancy, as opposed to improved conduits for the Legion. And well, Dread Rover is actually doing a decent job pushing all of this back. Very nippy unit. I've got a ranged attack with it as well, so it can dictate the terms of a fight unless being pushed heavily. But ultimately, Birds will be quite happy with this early position. He's got double base expansion, he's got his barracks set up, he's also going for a factory to tech up a little bit, and he's got all three control towers. He's looking in a good spot.
Yep, and I think we can expect to see a little more commitment from barracks units from Birds, because he made the upgrade building for those barracks units. So we're probably going to see some upgraded commandos, maybe some upgraded bastions pretty soon here. And that's a good sign he may stay on more of that barracks tech and just kind of augment it with things like Striders throughout the game. And there go Bastion starting right now. Probably a Bastion upgrade we're seeing.
It makes a lot of sense to continue the pressure. I mean, he's going to go for oh, okay, that's just a single commando, but he has gone for a third base expansion early, and he's going to deny this third one for the Legion. That's a really nice snipe there. Perfect timing by Birds. He's keeping relevant on the map where he needs to be, and we get rid of these Dread Rovers as well. He's got his army exactly where he needs to be at all times.
Yeah, it's really good positioning. I think the question that Birds will need to answer, and there is that first Dread Flamer. So that is some of the tech that adagramus is going for. But I'm a little worried about Birds if he faces a Pulse Forge Accelerator Terror Tank right now. He doesn't have anything that counters that.
Yeah, it could be a problem he's up against, and well, you can have all the economy you want, but if you don't have something to go up against the Terror Tank, we've found quite quickly that a Pulse Forge Accelerated Terror Tank, well, it's incredibly difficult to deal with.
Especially for the Protectorate infantry. You gotta have some of the bigger units. Usually. But then again, Birds is great at run buys, and you can force a base trade in some cases, so maybe that's the play if that happens. Adagramus is all the way up the tech tree. That Dread Flamer signifies that he does have the tech to make a Terror Tank or a Dreadnought or any of those big endgame units, so it's a matter of what he does make.
Bit of an engagement here, and well, there's also added in a Hellfire, so a nice backline unit for Birds. But he's got to be careful not to get too close to these Dread Flamers. That's what's happening.
Dread Flamer's up in the middle of everything. Bird's good at using that dragline formation to keep stuff spread out, but it's not enough. He's got to back off.
Oh, nice snipe there by the Inquisitress. Jumping on things, stunning everything, and taking out, I believe that was Tor. If I'm not mistaken, it might be Mondar. Either way, one of the two brothers gets sniped. As he's really starting to push hard here, adagramus. He's smelt some blood, and well, he's going to try and make the most of it.
That tier 3, maybe even tier 4 veterancy commando we've been keeping alive all game just went down from Birds. That hurts. I was hoping he might be able to save that. We might see a tier 5 unit a little bit later.
Yep, did get down the Valkyrie Beast, so adding a bit more meat to the army, but I've got to say these Dread Flamers have been doing some great work.
Yeah, they're terrifying. They actually have fewer hit points than they used to, but they're good with that Legion top bar that gives them move speed and lets them get right into the middle of the Protectorate army.
Yeah, with all the aggression that's been in there with adagramus, he's actually got 2 of the 3 control towers, so he's pulling back a little bit on that. He's got one of the talents of efficient upgrades, shield veterancy for the Protectorate. The big problem that I guess adagramus has got to deal with in the next couple of minutes are these Hellfires. Got to find a way to deal with those.
Yeah, the Hellfires are one of those units that when you have 1 or 2, they only have like 350 hit points, which is like double a commando's. So they're, a little scary. They're not too bad to deal with. You can overwhelm them. But once you get 10 Hellfires, if you can manage to keep building on them, they get real scary. But adagramus is unlikely to let that happen.
Yeah, and the real terrifying thing is the Terror Tank. I mean, the fact he's got the Terror Tank and he's also making all 4 turrets at the same time means that he's going to have a real big power spike really quickly with his army. And he's even taken a fight that it's actually probably going to win even without the Terror Tank.
Yeah, this might just be over for Birds. If he can't stop the army without the Terror Tank, what hope do you have of stopping it with it? And even though he was able to save the first one of the Hellfires that got hit earlier, the others go down. Oh, this is interesting. We're seeing some Iron Wing for the first time, and it does have I forgot the name of it, the missile upgrade. And that means it can shred the armor and deal a little damage to its target. So that Terror Tank can have all of its turrets and its hull hurt at the same time by those missiles if they shoot them, and its armor will go from 1 or 2, depending on what upgrades he has, down to 0.
Yeah, but in the last 5 minutes, it feels like adagramus is just playing out of his head. He's got 4 bases. He's got his Terror Tank with the Pulse Force Accelerator, or whatever it's called. Either way, it's got a huge amounts of range on it. A range which is, it looks impossible to deal with at times. And rather, the Bird's probably just looking to ignore it at this point, trying to get a bit more damage on the economy, because it doesn't feel like he's got what it needs to take care of that Terror Tank head on.
Yeah, Bird's going for the classic Bird's backstab. And adagramus just a little too quick to get there. Birds to actually kill that base. Bird's also seeing that adagramus is making a 5th base.
Yeah, the macro behind this is insane, right? Because he just needs to buy time. The longer the game goes on, his macro will just feed into his army, adagramus, and so really Birds, whilst he's on the back foot, he really needs to be trying to be on the front foot to try and do some damage, but easy said than done when you're up against these choke points, when you're up against these Dread Flamers, and up against 8-second Terror Tank.
And 4 more Pulse Forge Accelerators. So we have 2 Terror Tanks here with long range, fast attack speed, and adagramus being about to be able to have the energy to use Reanimate again on one of them. So they're going to be, basically the strongest unit in the whole game, probably fully upgraded with the top bar on him. It's hard to deal with for sure. Birds wisely trying to go around, but adagramus saying, nope, I want to fight your army. Recalling instantly.
Yeah, nice demonstration of that ability. That top bar ability for the Legion, you can recall, but you can also set the base that you wanted to recall your army to. So he did it to that one, of course, which is where he's being attacked at, and well, the army got back into position incredibly fast.
Yeah, if Birds is going to hold anywhere, it's going to be here because his protectorate bases are good. Buildings can heal, they can block shots, they can upgrade the supply depots as we're seeing here to deal damage back. But the Pulse Forge Accelerator tanks have such good range. It's just not mattering.
Yeah,
I think this is the end.
Yeah, the problem is that the 3 Terror tanks, they're being protected by this front line. He's got the Steel Swarm, right? They're just so tanky, and then you've also got the Dread Flames behind this, and there it is. GG gets called. Game number 1 goes in favor of adagramus with some incredibly, well, solid attacking play, and also macro behind it. Combine the two, and he takes game number 1. So good luck, had fun, gets called by both players, and with both players, they're going to be battling it out in game number 2 of this semi-final of this Zerospace tournament, spawning in the northwest in yellow. We've got Arrival of the Birds, playing as the Grell.
And down here in the southeast, playing in the blue as the Protectorate, we have up 1-0 adagramus.
Popping forward with Prefect Asta, and he's going to be going up against the Dread Hero. And it's kind of cool to see this unit back in action. We saw him in the early stages of Zerospace, in the development phases, and then he kind of fell off a bit. We didn't see him for a while, but he's back again, and hopefully going to be using Sticky Bomb a little bit, because it's one of the most favourite abilities I've seen him use. What happened there? Well, what we do know is he's going to have to back away, because yeah, a couple of mishaps there, and he's going to be running away.
Yep, the adagramus' hero, the Prefect Aster, was able to just slightly dodge that disruption shot, which would have stopped him from doing any damage or casting any spells for a few seconds. It dealt a little damage to him, and with that dodge, Arrival of the Birds had to back up. Now, Dread Hero is extremely good at disengaging because he can stealth and he can jump up and down cliffs, so he does survive back to full health after dealing with the Nourishing Pod, but that those first creeps in tower going in the favor of adagramus.
Yeah, interesting divergent play as well from the two players. Base expansion for the Grell, and yeah, second base expansion coming out for the Protector a little bit later, but ended up investing in the barracks earlier, so should be able to expect some early infantry units. Although with the Mercenary outpost up and running for the Dread, Mercenary for the for the Grell, could see some of those mercenaries picked up quite quickly, as only one control tower has been captured, and it has been captured now by birds. Sticky Bomb coming on out. Prefect Aster will get stunned, and this could be problematic for him, although you try to use a bit of a blocking there with the sandbags. Nice approach there by birds, because of course in Zerospace, as I've come to learn, buildings do block shots.
Yeah, it's a big part of the strategy. These higher level games too. The sandbags are really nice for blocking shots and blocking units.
Yeah, a lovely bit of attention to detail. We've seen a lot of graphical passovers in the game, but also if you notice very closely, these Dread Rovers, they've been Grellified. They've had a bit of a change in the skin when you are playing as a Grell. Nice to see. Adds a bit more depth to the readability, but it's just also really cool to look at, which is exactly what we play RTS games for at times. Speaking of mercenaries, we've got the badges coming out for adagramus.
Yeah, and those badgers are they're going to be pretty good against any sort of clumped units, and that's slow going down on the Dread Hero right now, kind of forcing them to back off.
2 control towers for birds. We'll be happy with that in the early stages of the game. Third base, they're coming up for the Protectorate, adagramus, and we've seen adagramus just pump out these bases at times, and he's not letting up. He's a third one already, and I suspect we'll see a fourth. It's probably just a matter of time, but he's probably got to make sure that he pumps out some units in case these Dread Rovers, because they're pretty nippy at times, could be going for push down in the south.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see just how fast Birds is teching right now. So we can see what kind of a thing he's going for. I'm expecting to see Lashers. I see 3 Lashers in production as I say that. And on the other side, I think we have what might be Farman's favorite unit in production.
It's
It
the
is
Titan.
the Titan.
Yep. Looking forward to seeing it because I love the fact that they can dodge in and then jump away, just like the commanders can do, but just obviously a bit better. And I do have a soft spot for Robocop, and it reminds me of is it Ed 309 or something like that. One of the bad robots. It just gives me a good remembrance of that. It's good times back in the old days. Makes me feel old, but it is what it is.
No, that's awesome. I think it's great that you love that. And the Titan, it can jump once it gets its upgrade and does extra damage to medium. So if Rival of the Birds is making any sort of medium units in his army, the Titans are going to make short work of those, and also really good against air units. And their attacks just look really cool. I love the way the minigun shots look.
Yeah, absolutely, which we're going to see in full force now, but a lot of the sandbags coming up for Birds, trying to protect his units as long as he can. And we see a lot of grass on the map as well, trying to increase it by getting the cultivator range talent. Sticky bomb doesn't quite land, but I mean, he's got a lot of grass around the map, and the sandbags is a nice way for him just to buy time if he's feeling under pressure. But that pressure is going to be mounting soon with the third base well underway for the Protectorate. That's going to feed more fuel to the fire that is the Protectorate army.
Yeah, for sure. I like that once Birds dropped those and it was clear the sandbags were giving him an advantage, adagramus just said, okay, I'll walk away. I'll walk away a little bit, go back to my supply structure that gives me that advantage. And they're kind of posturing around the middle of the map, but nobody fully engaging yet. Birds might be able to pick off this Badger. He does. That had the Protectorate top bar ability on it, that upgrade, so nice pickoff.
Yeah.
Getting the... Is that a Titan he got too?
Yeah, he also got a Titan, which is very, very nice. Picking up a couple of the Harvesters as well. And some of the Dread units. The Lash is starting to build up in a good number, I've got to say. So once they get into a critical mass, can be dangerous, especially with what we know Birds is known for, the run-bys. Could be, like you see already, he's sending some of the Rovers down south. Although, maybe just stopping any further expansions. There's a bit of engagement in the middle.
Yeah, looks like there's a... And with this engagement in the middle, the question is, what is he going to do with those Rovers? I guess he's just going to bring them back to join the rest of his army.
Oh.
Might have been an accidental click there because they're going down.
Yeah, it felt like an accidental click there because they kind of went in the wrong sort of direction. Tried to join the main army, but...
Manages to dodge most of those hits. But there's the run-by force.
Yeah, but adagramus should have some knowledge of that. Obviously, he had the outpost or the supply depot, so got a bit of early warning. Question is, can he do something about it? Because those they're walking on in.
Yep, killing extractors. They killed a harvester already. They're probably just going to take this base down, unless adagramus really commits to a recall. Or to bring his forces home. And Protectorate recalls troops one at a time, so really good at individual unit saving, not as good at saving a base by recalling everything.
Yeah,
I do see him responding with some forces while trying to fight this in the mid too, really splitting attention here.
Oh, this could be huge. Oh, he's not looking.
Birds isn't looking. Oh, wow.
Some big shots there.
What a great moment to use that ability.
I think it's the best we've seen from the Moran mothership, and boy, was it worth it. Although he might
For
lose
sure,
it.
that's when it shines. But then again, Birds has brought the army together. And the flank on a lot of those forces that came down to help means that adagramus loses most of that army.
Yeah.
Both sides kind of decimated in supply, but Birds up in economy for the first time.
Yeah, he's got 4 bases, right? So that run-by has done a great bit of damage to adagramus's economy, and these lashes just been getting so much value, right? They're really quick. They've got ranged attack. I mean, that's the thing. When you have a really good ranged unit, often they can be slow. But not these lashes. They've got both, the best of both worlds in terms of movement speed and range.
Yes, what they don't have is hit points.
Yeah.
So they die to a lot of different abilities if they hit like that bombardment. So we'll see if adagramus can take advantage of stuff like that again.
It's just getting so much value. Managed to duck and dive, weave in and out, and take some good fights. There is a juggernaut though, so we won't want to get too close to that if the flames get deployed. But
yep. You know what they say, if you can dodge a juggernaut, you can dodge a dodgeball.
Yeah.
But he has to dodge a juggernaut.
Battle Infusion could come in as well for some important fights. This fight might start soon. I mean, this thing, he can be so flexible with this army, right? Moving on the left side with the lashes, grouping up together in the middle with some dread snipers. There we go, lashes down on the left side. Gonna pick off yet another base. It's just so hard to keep tabs on these guys, right? But he has to somehow. He's gonna use more economy. And by the time his army gets there, those lashes probably gonna be hightailing it out. There they are. Off they go. This is certainly tricky for adagramus. All 3 control towers in his control.
Yeah, Bird's starting to look like the absolute monster on the map. Just grass and grow buildings everywhere. Adagramus probably feeling like he's playing in the dark a little bit without too much map vision or control.
Yeah, and he's fighting on the left side, and where do the lashes go? Right on the opposite side, on the right.
That's right, and a Dread Flamer too, just to add insult to injury. This base has no chance of surviving.
Yeah, the pincer attack movement is going to be
I
for the
think
primary.
he's going to go into the main, and he can recall back home too. I think recall's off cooldown, so I think we're entering the twilight phase of this game. Adagramus about to be on 1 base. I expect we might see GG called without the armies clashing.
It's got a Titan, but 2 of them get taken down pretty quickly as well. Oof, losing some big units. Moran Mothership.
Yeah.
Gets some
Titans
damage.
are pretty cool units, but there, yeah, there it is. There's the GG. I do feel like it almost happened right there. I should probably mention the actual win condition in Zerospace is not to destroy every single building. Just as soon as you destroy every main base there, the Hexite mining bases, then the game ends. That's where the workers and drones and seedlings come from, so people can't rebuild anyway. So that's the win condition. No hiding buildings in the corners of the map in Zerospace.
Yeah, and in the end,
it does mean base trade.
we did see the Titans, but they were cool units. Not cool enough, though, to get adagramus a victory there, and it will be the Grell getting the victory. It evens up the set, so best of 5, and, well, plenty more action coming in the set. It's an even Stevens set so far. We'll head into game number 3 really soon. Alright, we're locked in. It's going to be game number 3 in this best of 5 series. It's even Stevens so far, so it's all to play for with Birds, well, the arrival of, spawning in the southwest corner of the map in blue as the Legion.
And Gramus, the Ada of, that didn't work as well, in the top right corner in the yellow, playing as the Protectorate, opening with a Harvester.
Oh, sending over a repair drone as well, just to find out what he's up. Well, okay, maybe just to get a forward defense platform. Interesting. So looking to secure up maybe a second base expansion position, but also maybe just cut this area off from being attacked. We'll have to see. It's going to be Krieger with his little pet, Sabretooth, coming out for the Legion. And, well, on a map like this where the map is relatively narrow, like there's only 3 kind of, well, I mean, there's 3 control towers, but they're all quite close to each other. Means it could be tricky for choke points or maybe less of run-bys. We'll have to see. What we do know is that it's going to be an early barracks coming out for adagramus, and then early expansion for the Legion.
Yeah, and Adagramus opting to go into the Moran again, play the exact same combination he just played. Said, you know what, I may not have won that game, but I think I can handle your Legion with that same comp. Building that aggressive Moran mothership, and I don't see an expansion yet. So I think it's possible that mothership moves and it spawns units, that he's going to just push that even farther forward and try to go for maybe a little bit of a timing, even as he does build the second base. Still, I think we can expect some aggression from him.
Yep. Oh, double bestiary. So we are going to see some of those exalted, I would imagine. So I take back what I said about run-bys. Maybe we'll use the bestiary, the exalted units for that. We'll have to see. It could be a good tanking unit anyway. I'm kind of curious to see how he decides to utilize that Birds. I mean, is it really a Birds game if there isn't any run-bys? I'm not so sure it is. So I don't think we could ever take that out, the possibility.
I think we disqualify him altogether if he doesn't run by at least once. It's only fair.
Yeah, it's probably not him behind the keyboard if it's not happening.
That's right. Exactly. Suspect.
Krieger getting hold of the middle, and Prefect Asa going to try and challenge that, especially with the commando added in. Of course, trying to utilize the benefit of having an earlier barracks to get units out quicker. But speaking of quickness, holy man, look how fast these dudes are. It's almost like they're on Probably shouldn't say anything about Twitch TOS, so it doesn't forget about it. They're on something. Makes them incredibly fast.
So Kragar has an ability that speeds himself and his Sabertooth up, and he has an upgrade for it that speeds everything around it up. So it's possible we'll see that coming out from him, and they'll get even faster for a few seconds at a time.
So run-bys on steroids. Incredible. Good to see it happen.
But adagramus is wise to this, and he made the unit that slows in an area as it hits. So whenever we see those little sparkles, those units are slowed. And
Nice.
these badgers are pretty good at it, especially if you make a bunch of them.
Yeah, maybe less badgering from these exalted in the north. They might be heading that way now, though. Gonna get control towers.
And adagramus expanding backwards, just like you said, he took the third base location first, and now expanding to the regular natural.
Both really going for the talents, right? They want all the 3 control towers, and the fact they're so close to each other means they can just cycle between one and the other. It always kind of keeps that interface between the 2 enemies, although that's a lot of exalted. Holy moly, they came out quickly. And there's only 3
Yeah,
badges.
they're not very expensive. They're quick. They're pretty strong. Their range is quite short. So if adagramus can manage to do this, stun them, slow them, and kite them, oh man, right on top of the mothership. A lot of these bombardment shots hit right away. But Exalted didn't all die. They just all took some damage.
Well, we've got Return of the Titan. It's back again, so maybe just trying to get some revenge for the last game. We should see exactly what it's able to do.
Yeah.
These look like it's a lot better at dealing with Exalted, right? The Titans.
Yeah, Exalted are medium armor, and you can tell right away that Titan is just mowing them down. If they could get on top of it and use that maul ability on it to slow it, they maybe could kill it back. But with those badgers next to it, birds may have to reconsider going into Exalted alone.
Yeah, and it was quite a bit of a commitment with a double bestiary. You got some value from these Exalted, but as you say, if we see more Titans on the field, that value that we get from these units is going to start to dwindle. Krieger comes up with the piercing shot, does manage to get on out of there. And I wonder if he's going to be doubling down with a second factory, or does adagramus try something a little bit more different now that he's probably going to force birds away from the Exalted, although never know, Exalted can still do the run-bys.
Yes, that's true, they can, and hopefully they will. Look at that slow. Big slow, making it hard to make those Exalted work. Looks like there's, 4 badgers on the field at least? They come out in groups of 3, so maybe he lost a couple, but 4, and some of them with veterancy means they're real scary. I think adagramus needs to think about the next phase of this game and the possibility of terror tanks. What he has right now is okay, but Pulse Forge Accelerator Terror Tank might still do him in if he's not thinking ahead. And here's the run by. Thank goodness.
It happened. It's definitely birds. I mean, one thing that's great about these run-bys is, of course, it can achieve a lot, but more importantly, I feel like it forces the enemy to try and always deal with them. One way to deal with them, of course, is with a defense platform, but it's a hexite cost attributed to it, and so it forces your enemy to spend resources that could be spent in units and buy some time, maybe for your own terror tank. And the big question, I guess, is whether birds is on any of the flux. It doesn't actually look like it. Oh, there it is. There's the terror tank. And looks like with 4 turrets, it's got to be the Pulse Forge, right? Surely.
At least most of them, right? We haven't seen a lot of shield turrets today. And shield turrets can be very, very strong for the longevity of the terror tank and the army around it. But I'm still guessing Pulse Forge. There it is, 4 Pulse Forge. No need for variety here.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
Well,
front line is going down.
it was a bit of a tricky one. He actually engaged in the fight a little bit early, quite a bit early before the turrets came on in, but it didn't really matter anyway, it seems, because, well, adagramus took a really good initial part of that fight, but even still, with the terror tank being there, it's managed to hold and not lose that position where it is now. There's a lot of units, though, for adagramus. It just still doesn't feel confident about pushing that terror tank, though.
No, and I wouldn't either. Without the range to get to it, it can just kind of kite away like we saw. If the badgers could come from a different angle and slow it, then you can jump on it with everything. But he doesn't have anything that's like anti-heavy. This is the kind of is Protectorate ready for the terror tank? Now there's a Halo tank out. Halo tanks can do pretty good damage. So that's the first thing that says, hey, maybe you can kill that terror tank.
Yeah, and both players are expanding as well, so definitely a heavy focus on macro behind all of this. And there's the third base that's just come up for birds, and as it does, the fourth one coming up for adagramus.
Did we see Sammy the Sabretooth, by the way? He got pretty chonky.
Yeah.
Ate a lot of his bellow. Yeah, up to almost 1,000 hit points, which is pretty huge. Second terror tank on the field. I would not mind seeing a run by that's just the Sabretooth. The Sabretooth gets move speed when Kragar gets move speed, so they can go pretty fast around and really start to deal damage as it gets huge late game like this.
Yeah, Exalted going to tank, but they're not going to tank too well against the Titans, and there's a decent number of badges, and well, I think there's a Halo, a couple of, I think there's one Halo tank behind all this, but I mean, the Terror tank is getting value. Ooh, nuke. Doesn't quite land. There could be signs of something to come, especially if the units are grouped up and clumped up together. A big nuke could change everything. Just going up north with the Terror tanks. Possibly does leave himself exposed. If he can get on the left side, could sandwich the Terror tanks in between the base and his units. Well, I guess recall's always an option.
Yeah,
there it is.
Birds better have recall. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
If recall wasn't up, that might have ended the game for Birds. But as it stands, he got a base and was able to get out of there without losing much.
Interesting, he dropped an idle conduit there. Was there a reason for that? Other than maybe.
I think he wanted to get. Ability. Sorry. Wanted to get energy back on his heroes. That purple bar, the conduits save, and it's really cheap to drop those ones.
So jump jets for the Titans. There's a lot of Titans now. You love to see it, absolutely gatling things down. The question is, can they gap close on the Terror tanks? And maybe they can if they can jump jet on top of it. Could be a way forward. There's a lot of mechanized units dragging in the Sabretooth.
The Sabretooth, so tanky now.
Down it goes. And he's really starting to push here, adagramus. It feels like the economy is really starting to kick on in. But again, the Terror tanks are still alive.
I would love to see Birds stop making Exalted. He's running Exalted into one of their best counters in the whole game. And they're dying so fast they're not a great front line right now.
Yeah, the Titans starting to make some work, but not enough on the Terror tanks.
Yeah, the Pulse Forge Accelerator is going down on one of those tanks. So he's back to just being a regular Terror tank, not a Pulse Forge Terror tank. And it really needs some healing too. If Birds goes in with the tank at this health, adagramus is definitely going to jump on it.
Yeah, looks like he might. The Galavex is on the field, Krieger's on the field. Oh, nuke comes out. Oh, nuke, great nuke on two of the Badgers. Does a lot of damage, but here comes the jump jets from the Titans. He takes out Galavex. Ostrich going to try and snap out Krieger, doesn't quite manage it. A good engagement there by adagramus by all counts. I mean, could have gone better, but certainly could have gone worse. He's going to back away to the central control tower.
Taking a fifth base behind all this too. Just trying to strangle Birds out of the game, even while Birds has these Pulse Forge tanks.
Yeah, it's just every fight that's happening here, as long as adagramus trades evenly, he will be ahead, right? Because of the economy behind all of this. There's so much flux coming in, so much exile coming, jump jets coming from the Titans. They take a bit of time to take out the Terror tanks, but he takes out one. Guardian Obelisk, or the Monolith rather, coming in for the Legion. Oh, nuke.
Yeah,
Decent amount of damage.
Big nuke there. Rival of the Bird's able to kind of save himself with the top bar ultimate there. We can see it just south of the screen, the Monolith, and that's kind of carried that fight and turned things back the other way even.
Yeah, base in the north.
Now we have Birds with his own mothership on the field.
Ah, yeah. He's got Legion. Got Legion.
That's a good move.
Expansion in the north as well. So, Birds isn't. He's behind a little bit on the economy, but he's not terribly far behind. And if he can eke out a bit more fights that are going in his favor, maybe he can get a bit more of a foothold. The issue is that the supply is really telling, right? 53 to 120. Just the Protectorate units have been staying alive for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Oh, there's a big jump in on those tanks, but now it's Bird's turn to use the, oh my gosh, the barrage, and so many of those Titans being relatively squishy units, slowed by the Badger, hit with that, go down. And just like that, supply is a lot closer to even.
Yep, Gallivac's trying to get the fireball, doesn't quite land on it, but has been upgraded as well, so leaves the area effect damage on at the end of it. Yeah, a lot of Titans were taken down on that last fight, so it's making it a bit more tricky for adagramus, and, well, Birds, you can never count him out. I mean, if we can see another run by maybe at some point, maybe there's a way to cut off some of the economy. But, yeah, I mean, the Kriegers, is that Kriegers? Either way, the nuke that's coming out, it's such a good zoning tool.
Sure. I think the issue Birds has is mostly that these Exalteds are getting mowed down so fast. I think making everything except them, just kind of dodging the medium armor stuff, will be pretty strong. And if they ever are even on supply, which adagramus is still ahead, but if they ever are even on supply, Birds is ahead. Because with the terror tanks and the value the fully upgraded heroes give you, Legion has the edge in those situations pretty much every time against Protectorate. Protectorate needs to be up in supply at this point in the game.
Yeah, and this could be a problem with 3 terror tanks, especially if it's more pulse forges, which I suspect there will be. The range on these things is going to be really difficult to deal with. 1 maybe is doable, but 3, I'm not so sure how he's going to manage to deal with this.
Yeah, I think adagramus needs level 5, needs airstrikes, needs something to better deal with this.
Nuke comes out, but pushes on through. There's a lot of Titans. Jump Jet's going to jump right on top of one of the terror tanks. Ground Mothership, though, comes with the barrage, and it's almost like he's waiting for the Titans to jump on in, so he can use the mothership to
exactly
deploy.
what's happening.
And the Titan numbers are looking really low. Oh, huge nuke there. Took out a whole bunch of the Titans. Holy moly, he's down to 1, and adagramus has to back away. Absolutely huge shot there from the Legion. And, well, this is spicing up a little bit. Both players on multiple bases. But that last shot just decimated, absolutely decimated that Protectorate army.
Yeah, I'd like to see Birds maybe try to get aggressive, maybe take the base that's near his main base. Oh, there it is. There's the monolith coming down. There's also a instant supply depot coming down to block some shots and recharge the energy on those heroes. And Birds taken to the aggressive side of the map here. Adagramus still a little ahead in supply, but not enough for him to really be ahead in the game. I think Birds might be on the way to taking this.
Yeah, especially because a lot of the supplies is cooped up in commandos, right? They're kind of squishy at this stage of the game. Oh, huge nuke on them, and they won't survive too easily with that going on them. Although we do see some airstrikes coming on in, but it's just the 1, right? So it's going to need a bit more than that, but it's a start, and it's a sign of things that might come.
At the north side of the screen, the very first airstrike, I think, or airstrikes, took out all the turrets on that terror tank. The nice thing about airstrikes is they hit all the turrets on them, and the turrets go down and have to be rebuilt. So Birds just rebuilt all the turrets on that terror tank right there. Cost him 400 flux to do it. So nice first airstrike, and then after that, maybe a little less nice. Oh, really nice barrage, too. Hitting everything right as the recall goes off. But that's going to knock down some of those terror tank turrets as well.
Yeah, but those 2 terror tanks were recalled, right? It must have been. So they managed to salvage them. But still, as you say, some good damage. Oh, jumps Jets out of the nuke. Airstrike comes on in, though. It lands with the nuke, with the airstrike, rather. But, well, he's still just standing firm, especially with the terror tanks being there. Adding in the Moran Halo tank.
Yeah, Birds up in supply now.
Yeah, this is a dangerous moment. Doesn't look like adagramus has much to hold on. Mostly just Titans, Sabertooth tanking. Going to come in with an airstrike again, but it just seems a little bit underwhelming, those airstrikes, right? They look big with the explosions, but doesn't seem to be doing too much damage. Mothership getting another barrage, but the terror tanks, you know, they're tanky enough to deal with that. And this, oh,
yeah,
holy
I like
moly!
This direction, Birds.
Look at this, Guardian Obelisks taking out towers.
Who needs a run by when you can do a build by? I've seen Legion players do this many times today. We've seen a lot of games where they attempted it. This is the first game I saw it work, but that's fun. Yeah. I like that Birds went south and said, well, I can attack into the core of all your stuff up here where your army is, or I can just go kill the base down near my main base. Nice airstrikes there, taking out half the turrets, almost all the turrets on both of those terror tanks. Their airstrikes are really nice against terror tanks for exactly that reason.
And so if you're wondering where the airstrikes are coming from, here they are. But as we said, we've been focusing on run buys this whole time with units, but actually Mind Game's coming up with birds. He's doing build buys, as he said, and yeah, slowly he's just strangling out the map, right? adagramus really down low on supply. He's holding on for now because, of course, this is the semi-finals. You don't want to give up too early if you can handle it. And some massive shots, though. He's really zoning him out. I think the Titans are really starting to dwindle, and there it is. GG gets called. Arrival of the birds, getting his next victory on the board, leading 2-1, but still, possibly 2 more games in this set. We'll have to see whether adagramus can come back. Alright, we're back with familiarity, and that familiarity is with Starsand, and also familiar with the players in the northwest. We've got adagramus in green as the Grell.
And here in the southeast, we have in the blue playing the Protectorate, Arrival of the Birds.
Choosing Prefect Aster. And we've got the tech hero coming up from adagramus. Now, Starsand is kind of where it all began. In my mind, it's probably the first map, if I'm not mistaken, or at least the first map that I remember ever seeing with Zerospace. And
yep.
I mean, the great thing about it, and the development, of course, we've had a pass over of the graphics. They look absolutely phenomenal. I thought they were great in early stages of development, and it just keeps getting better and better. I love the fact that now we've got these sort of tire tracks on the field. Shows you where it just adds another depth to the maps, and I'm sure the campaign enjoyers will be enjoying it once it's unlocked on the I believe it's the 17th of July. So guys who like to play campaign modes, got to be sticking an eye out for that. Definitely worth a try. Speaking of trying, well, Prefect Aster's trying something funky. He's going for the early snipe on a harvester, it seems. Definitely different from what we've seen before. Both players typically go for the control towers. Looks like actually Arrival of the Birds has got something else up his sleeve.
adagramus not wanting to lose that early flux, waits for the last possible second, and then pulls it over the nourishing prod where it gets heals up. Just trying to waste as much of Aster's time as he can and still not lose the harvester. Ooh, I don't know if that's what he meant to do. Aster didn't quite dash out of the base, just dashed up against the wall there and has to make a run for it.
Yeah, gets on out of there, but overall probably good for adagramus because he never really lost the harvester, and he's managed to get one of the control towers already nice and early.
I think what birds may have been able to do there, and it's hard to know for sure, was kill a couple of seedlings that were going out to build the expansion. I think adagramus wanted to have expanded earlier, but birds did kill a bunch of seedlings in his main, so he couldn't expand until after he knocked Prefect Aster out of his base.
Yeah, that's a very good shout actually, and he does have the Temple of the Earth mercenary building, so could see some mercenaries before too long. Second base already up for the Protectorate and double barracks as well. We're seeing this build quite typically. Going to put some more pressure on the map with some infantry units. Oh, nice use of the Prefect. He really doesn't want flux income, right, to come on in. And do mercenary units cost flux? Is this a big reason why he's doing this?
I don't know if he's worried about the mercenary units so much. I think he's just trying to harass and make sure adagramus can't get tech. It is sacrificing the turrets or the troops around it, and adagramus cleverly using his tech hero's shield on the harvester. Aster has a harder time killing that.
Oh yes, that's a good shout. We can use that on any unit, and he's using it on the harvester. I don't think I've ever seen that before, so it's quite nice to see it here. Just buying some time.
Yeah.
Prefect
he does
Aster
actually get the kill on Aster. I feel like Aster's trying to dash out, and maybe his dash just is barely long enough or not quite long enough to make it over the water right outside of that wall, that base. So he's trying to, he didn't quite make it again.
Yeah, so I guess the big thing is going to be whether the Protector kind of held back the Grell, or the Grell rather, whether he's slowed him down a little bit, because I suspect both players will want to really challenge for the rich flux in the middle. And well, these Rageborns, these Chaku Rageborns getting involved, adding in a couple of these Brood Guards as well, so pretty heavy units coming up for the Grell.
Yep, it's kind of the I have too many hit points for you to handle build, as I would call it. That works decently well against Protectorate in some of these games. However, Birds does have a nice front line here in these upgraded top-barred Valkaru Hounds. They have a lot of hit points, especially for how much they cost, and now he's put the shield on them and given them veterancy. So he won't just die to the Rageborn. The Rageborn will have to deal with the Hounds or run around the Hounds to hit the commandos that are dealing the damage.
Yeah, getting a defense platform, just hopefully trying to secure some of the rich fluxes already on out there. Looks like they're both going to be... This is probably going to be the interface for larger amounts of the fights. Although, having said that, it's birds, right? So we could always see them flank around the sides. Wouldn't be too surprised to see that.
Right. Yeah, that's a good call. And separating units out against these Rageborn are pretty good. On the other hand, the Bastions kind of want things clumped up. So you see birds trying to hit and then dodge right as the Rageborns go to slam. That's a hard thing to pull off, but so far he's doing okay at it.
Yep, third base behind this for adagramus.
He does have a harvester. Nice, yeah.
He does love to expand there.
Harvester is there for bird. If he wants to back off and heal, now would be the time.
Adding a couple of backline units. He's losing quite a few of these Valkyrie hounds, though. He's going back now to the harvester. He didn't actually heal on up. I think he will now, maybe. Possibly. Potentially.
He's thinking about it.
He's
probably completely somewhere else. Yeah, I think there would have been a moment earlier in that fight where had he taken everything back to the harvester and healed it up, he might have been able to push adagramus back more solidly, but still doing okay. Lots and lots of these Rageborn. adagramus just kind of saying, I'm going to use these mercenaries and use this slam ability to destroy you.
Yeah, really pushing forward. Both players do have 3 bases, so they're kind of going like for like in that regard. But these Rageborn really adding another element to this fight. I mean, these Valkyrie units, if they get caught, they will be smashed to pieces. They're really more of a backline unit, the Valkyrie shock troopers. Added in a couple of Titans now. I'm not so sure about this from the Protectorate. This is a lot of melee units from the Grell, and it should be a fight they win, especially with the Beast involved. Actually, no, that Beast is for birds. So that could turn the tide, and I think it did, actually.
Yeah, that was a nice Beast call down. It got slammed a couple of times and lost some health, but it's pretty scary. I don't know if going up this ramp into the unknown is right for birds right now.
Yeah, especially with the brood guards. If they get chopped to pieces, it spawns spiderlings, and that could really force the issue. It's actually got a worm as well, Hatton. I'm going to say Hatton. I'm not sure how we really say that name, but that's what we're going to go. It's got the vision sensor platform. Don't often see that.
I think it's a tune, but they used to be the worm, yeah.
Ah, okay, yes.
And that can cause a big rift in the ground and cut units off. Units can't travel over or through that. We'll see if we see that ability soon. Catching birds' army by the melee units is kind of the whole goal of adagramus, so that rift really helps with that. He did lose a lot, though. After a while, birds was able to kite and start tearing apart adagramus' stuff, and I think he has a lot of veterancy on that force, too.
Oh, this could be the beginning of a run by Valkyrie Hounds. You always have to look at the minimap when birds is playing. You never know what's going to happen.
That's right. We don't have to disqualify him this time. He did a run by.
Yeah. And looks like it might pay dividends, although it will take a bit of time. The army's in position, so she's going to have to run on out of there. Has got a couple of shields on them. But these Rageborns, I don't suspect they'll catch up. These Valkyrie Hounds should be able to get out of there. There we go. Chakra Hattoon looks like it's been infused. Quick brief look at the talents. We've got Revive. We've got Cultivator range for the Grell. Got Improved Veterancy. And the Mercenary cooldown for birds. And understandably so, because, well, actually, to be fair, I'm not sure if birds has really gone for too many mercenaries, but maybe that's in his plans.
Yeah, I mean, he's used the Beast and he used a handful of the Hounds and the Shock Troopers, but the Shock Troopers and Hounds kind of went down to the Rageborn, so
yeah,
I understand why you might move away from that. I'm kind of surprised by just how much Titan use we're seeing. They're really strong units against what they counter, but a lot of these units are heavy in adagramus' force.
Yeah, we're slowly starting to see the introduction of the Harbinger as well, and also a Reaver. Harbinger is not a unit we've been seeing all that much of, but it's a unit that I've been missing. We've been seeing a lot of Lashers, a lot of the Brood Guards, so it's good to see these guys on the field, especially their new look. I mean, the color of them, you can't miss them.
Yeah, so the Harbingers actually have a fun thing. They're really brightly lit like that when their ability is off cooldown, when their eruption ability to like launch a volcano kind of a thing into the air.
So
and when they use it, the lights get dark when they use it until it's ready again.
Oh, I love that attention to detail.
They-
It's so nice to see.
Yeah, it's fun. I really like that when we did the lighting overpass and updated it all. It was like, wait a second, did they just get this? And it turns out they've had it all along. It was just harder to see before, so now it's really obvious.
Yeah, definitely great unit from a readability point of view. Like, you can't miss it. You know exactly what that is. It's so nice to see. Speaking of nice to see, well, adagramus doing his usual thing. He's got 5 bases. This lad loves his macro.
And I think he's getting a 6th base even down on the west side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Birds at 4 bases and getting a 5th, I think. Starsen has more bases than any other map, and it's not close. So this might be a very macro-heavy game unless it ends right now. Nice swap. Oh, birds at the flank.
Oh, that could be huge. Well, managed to get on out of there. Did actually pincer grip, kind of surround them on the left side as well with a Juggernaut and a couple of Valkyrie Hounds. And this was a great fight overall for the Protector. He's chasing them down. Adagramus running away, although he's deciding to fight this once and for all. This is going to be an interesting outcome to this because we've got reinforcements coming in, especially with the Valkyrie Beast for Birds coming on the backstab. This could be problematic for the Grail. I don't know if he's overshot this, especially with the Juggernaut with the flames, and there's a couple of them.
You got the upgrade where the Juggernauts can move while flaming, and they're just moving right over the army. And if Adagramus didn't retreat right away, which he did not, eventually everything just melts. At the same time, Adagramus, really tanky, getting all those spiderlings and knocking down more and more of Birds' stuff, somehow comes out ahead in supply.
Yeah, I guess it's just the ability to replace that army, right? Because he's just got so much economy behind this. He's just been able to spam out units. Although, as I say that, speaking of spam out units, look at all these Valkyrie Hounds just spammed out by Birds.
Yeah, seriously. If we look at the tier 4 talent for Adagramus, I think that might be a game changer right here. He got tier 4 somewhere in the middle of that, and it gives 1 armor, really nice against all these commandos and hounds and titans, which don't deal much damage to armor, and then lifesteal. So all the damage and all these slams and everything, lifestealing on those means it's really hard to kill these Grail units. How did that Reaver not go down? It's still alive. It's still alive, Bird. There.
Eventually goes down, but I mean, the chase is on. Adagramus just keeps on. It almost feels like they're even fights, but then they're not. Adagramus somehow wins them. Rift comes out just to zone things off a little bit and make sure Adagramus can't keep pushing on in.
I think I see 2 Weavers on the field. Oh, there's the first. Oh, he missed it. That's the first poison grenade we've seen in the tournament, I think. And I would love to see somebody turn their enemies' units into spiderlings here when one of those hits, and the units that are affected by it die in the next 10 seconds. You got to get some extra damage on him. It's not enough to kill any of these Protectorate units by itself, but it would be pretty good.
Got more than 2,000 hexite per minute coming on in for Adagramus. An insane amount. Looks like he's making a play for the right side.
We're going to see a point where, even at this level, they may have a hard time spending all their money. And here's the run by.
Yeah, I mean,
another run by from Birds. It's on the 7th base, so Adagramus may not even care. He may just say, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, is it even a run by? It's almost like his next door base. It's insane how much Adagramus has expanded, and he's doing so much damage now to the infrastructure. This is a problem, actually, because if he loses a production building, he needs to replace them. It takes time. And so the ability to replace an army, if it's lost in a fight, is going to be a lot harder. It's one thing having economy. There's nothing to be able to actually use it. And so Adagramus going for a play of taking out production could be a really kind of big moment in this match. As I say,
yeah, for sure. It was, I think, Adagramus got the better end of that. I'm not sure if Birds did kill that base up in the north. It looked like he was going to. He did manage to take it out. It's just a Stephen there now. Fooling me on the minimap. Oh, there we go. There's a couple of those poison grenades that do hit. That white bar means they're taking 10 damage every second. Any of those units that die are going to spawn spiderlings. There's some spiderlings. You can see all those little tiny health bars coming out of units that got killed. Adagramus getting ahead in supply, looking real scary as everything moves forward.
Yeah.
Birds with the Griffin just healing everything in his army. So he does have more staying power than he did before, and it's not a bad answer to the poison grenades either. Things are taking 10 damage a second, and you're healing about 10 damage a second too. If you're not taking additional damage, you can survive.
Uses the rift just to cordon things off a little bit. A big problem for Birds though, he's lost a lot of production buildings, right? So if he's not replacing them round on the back, it could be problematic replacing these units, and he's just pushing on in. There's the Tree of Life. This could be a huge fight. It's probably a fight that's going to work out well for the Grell, especially with the infused harbingers behind all of this, with the chat crew mercenaries on the front lines tanking heavily. Birds is being pushed back heavily. He's going to lose a lot of these control towers, but a mass of Valkyrie hounds. The question is, can they reach these harbingers? It doesn't look like they can. They're struggling to. Slowly but surely, adagramus is pushing in. He's even got a couple of Reavers there tanking heavily. Juggernauts flaming on, maybe buying some time, but the Valkyrie hounds slowly but surely going down. adagramus' economy is fueled up a huge army. Slowly but surely, looks like the Protectorate aren't going to be able to keep up army production.
Yeah, I think it's just about over. I really like what Birds did with these Juggernauts, the Flame, and the Griffins to keep them alive. But it just wasn't enough. adagramus, especially once he started getting all these Harbingers for their eruptions and all the poison grenades, all the abilities on top of all the hit points. It's just too much.
Yeah, the Harbingers, it felt like they were the turning point. It was a nice transition as well because you said the Juggernauts were a nice play. But if you can stay away from them with a ranged unit like the Harbingers, then you're laughing. It's got huge tanking units as well, like the Chakra Hatun and also the Reavers. It means that the Protector can't really get too close. He's trying to build supply depots behind this just to maybe cut off the retreat, but at this point, I don't think adagramus even needs to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tripled his supply now. It's only a matter of time until Birds is toast.
Yeah, they make the joke of toasted Grell, but looks like Grell have got the wrong end of that stick. They said, no, we're not the ones on toast, it's going to be you guys. And you see he's just trying to force down these production buildings, but they're not going to be able to build up. And the GG gets called. adagramus does take the victory, so he's going to be evening up the set once again. So we're going to go straight over to a game number 5. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, game number 5. We're going the distance once again. This tournament has brought us some incredible games, and hopefully this will be one such game that's incredible. Hang on a minute. Welcome back, everyone, to the final game of the set. It's going to be a banger, and, well, 2 incredibly accomplished players, but it's game number 5. Things are heating up. Winner takes all in sense of getting to the grand finals. This is, of course, semi-final number 2, spawning in the northwest in green. It's adagramus playing as the Protectorate.
And down here in the southeast opposite corner, also playing as a Protectorate in the blue, we have Arrival of the Birds.
It's a Protectorate mirror match, but we've got Mera as the hero for Birds, and we've got adagramus going for Prefect Asta. Now on a map with 4 control towers, this map often feels pretty big. Kind of curious to see if both players will look to play a macro approach, which actually, to be fair at this point, it looks like Birds has already started with the first big expansion, going for the barracks and then adding in the Arandi mothership.
Yeah, this is a departure from what a lot of our other Protectorate players have been doing, who going the 2 racks first, but it looks like the heroes are fighting now.
Oh,
ooh, wow, Mira with the actual kill. That is hard to do. Usually Prefect Aster is able to get away, gets a little movement speed after that dash, but Mira gets pretty quick too. So nice confirmed kill there for Birds, taking the early tower lead and the early hero lead.
Yep, this is huge because, of course, you get the towers, you get experience, you get talents, and in a mirror match like this, it could be a big deal. Of course, now adagramus has got to try and deny these towers as best as he can, but it's a lot harder now that he doesn't have a hero, at least for the time being.
Yeah, and Birds' base coming up a little bit faster than adagramus' as well. Means he just has these little advantages all over the place in this Protectorate versus Protectorate so far.
Around mothership, looks like it's going further forward. Not jumping in too quickly just yet. Both players with a commando each. Ooh, Mera diving on in, stuns Prefect Asta. And there's probably a good chance for Birds to run away now because he's going to be up against 3 Moran Badgers. Can't really take that fight.
Yeah, it's funny. adagramus really loves the Moran, but he hasn't actually won his games that he's played Moran, so he's back at them again.
Yeah, if there's a time to make it work, this is the game for it, of course. The winner here will go to the grand finals. And, well, I won't spoil it. He'll be, whoever they're facing will be an incredibly fierce competitor. But they've got the last hurdle here in the final match. The Arandi Horned Mech being chosen here by Birds.
Yeah, and the Horn Mech is putting it right up next to those units is interesting. It's one of those units that once you mass them, they get really annoying to deal with. Is that purple orb just goes right through every unit it hits. You can dodge it, so you take no damage, but a lot of times it goes through your army or your structures, and it deals a lot.
Yep, third base coming up though for adagramus. Whereas Birds just looking to try and get a bit more of the control towers and talents. Both choosing the improved veterancy. No real surprises there. It seems like a real staple for the Protectorate to go for this one in the tier 1. Understandably so, because of course it scales well with the units. And the veterancy, clearly a big part of the Protectorate identity. Speaking of something that could be a big part of the game, is the Rich Flux, which both players will be looking to get. Both Rich Flux deposits quite close to each other as well in the middle of the map, but they are separated by this pond of water. So I guess one on the right, probably Bird's going to want to get. One on the left, maybe adagramus. Speaking of the left, a bit of a push here with Mera and a couple of commandos. Looking to try and deny the harvesters.
Bringing the other harvester up to heal the first harvester. Say, we can help each other out here.
Yeah, nice play.
Nice save by adagramus.
Absolutely.
It looks like Bird has the flux lead though, and was able to mine some of that rich flux with the Arandi talent, which increases flux income by 10% and gives you a free harvester, so you can actually max out at 6 harvesters. So if this game goes long like the last couple games, Birds will probably be able to afford more tech if you can keep those harvesters alive.
Very nice. Badges.
Oh, but adagramus also setting up for the long game with the Moran talent to get more XP, making these towers really valuable for him, and meaning we might be able to see a level 6. Level 6 Protectorate is really strong. They all get, every single unit gets an extra point of veterancy.
Yep, and I can just confirm that this is Birds confirmed. He's got a bit of a run by with commanders on the left side, staying true to his playstyle. Oh, Mera dashing on out. Oh, Moran.
Oh my gosh.
Holy moly. Did he recall those, Arandi? It may have, but what I did know, he stunned them.
I think he did. I don't see their husks. I think he recalled them both just in time.
Oh, that was close. He stunned them. It got the Morandi, the mothership, the Moran mothership to do its carpet bombing. He managed to call them back at the end, which is a really quick, important moment. Speaking of which, he does take out production buildings. A nice run by. I say drive by, but run by. They're certainly running, not in cars, by these commandos.
Adagramus able to see that was coming and start making that advanced factory again, but that is the tier 3 factory. It's pretty expensive. It was completely done. It almost finished making a Juggernaut, one of those big flame tanks we saw so much last game. But it Bird's able to take it out before that happened, and now back on the map with these Horn Mechs with the top bar on them, trying to use those shields and veterancy to probably spiral into more Horn Mechs.
Yep, certainly. With that, though, 3 control towers for adagramus, so talents will be coming up a little bit quicker for him. Reinforcements coming in for Birds, and as well as adagramus. So that's one thing that's kind of nice for both of these factions. They both do get this third talent of reinforcements.
Yeah, for sure. If adagramus is able to keep towers, he's going to get XP so fast with that Moran talent on this map with so many towers. But a big fight happening.
Yeah, it's a fight with Hellfires on the back line, which is going to work really well for Birds. The question is, will it be enough? I don't know if there's much of a front line that remains for Birds, so see if the Arandi Horn Mechs can survive this. Oh, carpet bombing comes out on the Arandi, and they didn't end up getting out of there. They were slowed, and so they may be taken out. We'll see, actually. I mean, to be fair, the Hellfire's doing a lot of damage, and in fact, the Arandi Horn Mech don't even care. They're just standing there fighting.
Nice. So the Arandi Horn Mech have the Arandi top bar abilities. So the Moran has its barrage. The Arandi can bring out of the mothership these 3 little healing flying guys. And they are what really saved the fight there for Birds. Right as all the damage was coming in from adagramus, they showed up and started healing. And that's why the Horn Mechs were able to survive. Birds really starting to stack up these backline units. However, without any sort of a front line, this is a risky push. Remember, Protectorate can only recall 1 unit at a time, and they need power to do that. Birds has almost no power, and maybe recall one of these units, and the rest are just going to die if they get overwhelmed.
Yeah, he's got to be careful not to get sniped, right? We have seen this sort of happen before with higher tier units. It's good to have them, and you got to use them, but if you're not protected, then games can switch around really quickly.
Yeah, I think Birds is set up for a really strong late game army, but he doesn't have the late game army yet. I think if adagramus overwhelms this force right now, this could be the series, and it looks like that's starting to happen.
Yeah, Mothership got some really good shots.
Again, yeah, Mothership did, but maybe Birds knows more than me, and he has just enough to snowball that fight. Even though everything got on top of his Hellfires, the Hellfires had done just enough damage that it all just kind of melted there.
Yep, still survives with 3 of them, and Mera gonna try and force away the rest of the Badgers fighting this. Maybe this time Birds will head on home. He doesn't really have that much remaining. He's got a Griffin though, can help. Mass Hellfires, it seems, is on the menu for Birds, making it rain.
Mass Hellfires, especially when they're getting healed up between the Griffin and the Arandi Mothership,
Wait,
which he did lose. But if
this is for Birds?
Another.
Holy moly, going for forward barracks. He wants the healing, right?
Birds wants a front line, and barracks are only, they only cost Hexite and not that much. All the tech units cost a lot of flux, so if he can make a complete front line of barracks, what are you going to do about the Hellfires? That's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's more barracks.
We've had some really nice play by Birds. Instead of run buys, we're going for building buys. And now we've gone for forward barracks instead of units as a front line. And he's making it work.
The barracks front line. He is making it work. I mean, he might win this series off of barracks front line. How great is that?
And he's spamming them. The great thing as well, all these units are going to pop out, these commandos. Sure, they're a bit squishy, but it doesn't really matter. They're just going to storm in and a really good reinforcement to the forward fight, right? The defender's advantage you get from defending is kind of negated when you have reinforcements coming in this quickly for Birds.
And adagramus says, okay, well, if you're going to kill me with Hellfires, I'm going to try to defend myself with Hellfires.
Yep.
So we'll see if Birds has enough Hellfires to keep pushing.
It's Hellfires all around. But the big thing is Birds. He's also continued expanding. He's got 4 bases in total. So he should be able to
sniping a couple of Hellfires there. If you're in a Hellfire versus Hellfire fight, having more Hellfires is a big deal. So getting to snipe those is a nice swing of things. Birds Hellfire is also getting healed. Both players Hellfire is getting healed. One by the drones of the base.
Yep, certainly behind all this though, he has got 2 of the towers. Just compared to the 1. Not a huge difference, but it's something that will accumulate. Yet another barracks in the forward position. He's got to be careful though, because the defender's advantage is certainly going to be in favour of adagramus, although the forward barracks, Birds is trying to make a difference on that. He's slowly trying to
forward
squeeze
barracks have their healing drones too, so they're adding even more healing to Birds' army right now.
Yeah. Oh, and he's focusing on the production. This is a nice touch by Birds. If he takes down the production, well, he's not going to have any reinforcements here, adagramus, and he's being pushed back. Bear in mind, this is game number 5.
I love that move by adagramus, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, it was a nice.
While that's going off,
it was a nice try.
There's some Badgers built behind me.
Not sure if it's going to be.
I think it's over. I think this is at least the beginning of the end. Maybe not. Maybe Birds can be pushed back.
The Hellfires are still staying, but there's quite a few Titans. He might jump in potentially, try and close the gap, but it's a bit of a risky play, right? So. Holding on 5 for now, but another one of those Moran Mothership.
I can't help but wonder if there's
shots could be good.
A run by someplace. Birds is up more than double supply, but it doesn't look like it to look at these armies here.
On the minimap, no run bys I can see, but he's slowly chipping away at this. Right, the Titans struggling to get rid of the Hellfires, and they're kind of melting.
We might
to the
get
Hellfires.
another barrage here. Here comes another barrage from the Mothership. Pretty strong, lots of damage, but with all that veterancy and those shields, Birds recalls a couple of those Hellfires, so they're back home.
Yeah, the big problem is that he's lost his army and he's lost production capability, and look at that, even Weapon X making an appearance, and that's going to seal the deal.
That's
GG
right.
gets
First Weapon
called.
X we've seen today, and that's it. Birds is going to the finals after a crazy series, really close, clutch game 5. I guess Birds isn't allowed to have a relaxing moment today because it continues.